All right, it's Monday, second to last day. Today's the day in which we're going to do a ton of small little bits, and hopefully by the end of the day we'll also start to get a feel for the first hurdles that we bump into. The day will start with a whole bunch of work of anchor brackets coming on, handlebars being bent, hydraulic lines running through, rear wheel going into flacco for the final time, gas tanks going on, all that stuff. We'll see how today goes, and let's hope I'm as happy at the end of the play as I am now.
I'm back off my long weekend to Paris with my wife Georgia. Had a really nice time, but now it's time to get these bikes finished. So I've got a list to do a fair few things, fabricating welding wise. The first job on the list is the oil bag, which I've previously made the actual oil bag, but I now have to put into the filler bung inside of it. So I'm going to be welding that up. So I'm waiting for parts that Paul has made at Demeanor Customs. He's helped us out with a few little bits. So he's coming over at 10 AM and I'll be able to do some more jobs to get these bikes done. Apart from that, it's just going to be a lot of welding, polishing, fabricating all day, probably into the night, to get these bikes done for Verona, which is the bikes are leaving on Tuesday evening, so there's not much time. This is a fairly thick aluminium bung, so I'm just going to give it a quick preheat so it swells a little bit easier. It'll take less time to heat up. Just going to go in with a heavy cut and then work my way up to medium and then a finishing soap. I think it'll be good enough. So that's polished. I'll do a little bit of hand polishing now. So just finished up polishing the oil bag. So I'm going to get this in, ready for George to wire up the lines. I'm just testing out this pinch roller. Paul lent us to make the fender struts for the rear fenders. I'll probably use a thicker diameter, but I'm just giving it a test out because if it works it'll save us a little bit of time. Stainless is very tough to work with, so just taking a little bit at a time so I don't put too much stress on it and break the tool because it's not hard.
Struts, adjuster.
Adjusters for the, and then we've got the rear brake anchor, front brake anchor, spacer for the wheel. These are for the fender struts.
So they're the bottom mounts. Going to mount on off the back of the shock mount.
And then you come off there. This is for on the fender. This is for the coil mount.
So there's a bracket that comes down now onto the back of the brake. Only thing we don't know is that spacing distance until we get this on the bike, tacked up and what have you. But I've taken all the bolts down, I've moved it all over.
So if you can weld this one on, Panna, this to the spindle,
Okay.
Yeah, but you will have to tack it up on the bike.
So I started early this morning, try to get ahead of some of the jobs we had. So yeah, we've got a lot done. Me and George have been helping each other out on the Royal Blood. We had a problem we had to solve, do the steering lock, so that's now sorted, it's going back together. Had to modify the engine bracket, so I had to make the spring loops on the exhaust, and then I've been bending the fender struts and drilling the holes in the fender. So yeah, there's a lot to do, but it's stop and start, stop and start. So I'm confident we'll have it done, but it's just going to be a long day and just need to focus now. There's a lot of things going on, so yeah, just want to get on with it.
Realistically, only meant to be a 5-minute job to get these bolts fitted, and it's now taken like 30 minutes. Just small things happen and just drags the job out.
The issue is that there's a bit of paint everywhere, and when we build these things to like small tolerances, you have to take a little bit of paint away to make it fit again. And we want to be extremely careful not to mess up the great paint job Luke did. Alright guys, it's Monday night, and in 24 hours we will be hopefully on the ferry with 2 finished bikes. Today was a great day. We got a ton done on all the bikes. Flacco got handlebars and internal throttle, got the rear wheel in, got all the brake anchors done, got the motor mount done, got the carb mount, which is integrated into the motor mount, done. So that's Flacco. And then Royal Blood is done, except for the fender and the fender struts. The coil mount that Panna made looks amazing, but we wanted to wait with putting the gas tank on because it's such a pretty gas tank. We didn't want to ruin anything or have the chance of scratching it. And of course, now that it's on, the petcock is in the way of the coil mount a little bit. So that will require some additional fab work. Last but not least, a bit tricky, is the fork stop disc has to be turned to a smaller setting because on full extension, the handlebar is a little bit too close to the gas tank for comfort. So we need to deal with that tomorrow. Outside of that, it was a great day. Tomorrow is going to be a really full day with a lot of things happening and probably a lot of drama. So stay tuned, and we'll see you again tomorrow.
It's the last day. Got to finish all the shoes.
There are 2 frames. One is for an Evo with a 6-up front, and the other one is for an M8 engine with a 6-up front. Both from Tinworks from Florida. I don't think the guys are going to be too happy that I start dragging two frames in when we're finishing the current builds, but I already built these in my head, so the frames are here. Project for next week, George. What? Project for next week.
So we're lunchtime, maybe 1, 12:30 or something like that. We've got tons of work to do. Things are not going right for George. He's struggling with a hydraulic hose, nipple, or whatever it is, the mushroom on it isn't sealing. Blah blah blah, same old shit. So yeah, we're all a bit manic at the moment and a bit stressed. And to top it off, Joe just received 2 frames from the States because we ain't got anything else on at the moment. So yeah, looking forward to that.
Right, so what we have here are 2 frames from Tinworks. Anthony made these for us. What we have here is a 4-up with a 38-degree rake. This is for an Evo, and then over here we have, I believe, the 2nd frame he ever built to put an M8 in. First one he built for Paul Tuttle from Orange County Choppers, who has built some really pretty bikes and is still building pretty bikes in Florida. Built the first frame for him, and I think this is the 2nd frame. So very honored to have this one in our shop. We have a donor bike for it, so as soon as we've got some time, we'll start building this one.
Royal Blood is looking amazing. There's still a little bit of work to do on Flacco, which you might be able to hear in the background right now. But no, I think both bikes should be safely loaded in the van and on their way to Harwich to get the ferry. Hopefully probably need to be in the van by 8, so just under 4 hours. I've taken care of the ferry, the ferry with the help of Ninka, Joe's lovely wife. We've had to do a slightly different route. So we had a bit of an experience last year when going to Spain with a couple of bikes. We didn't have the correct paperwork in place and we got a rather sizable fine. So this thing here is our official documentation, which is a carnet form for both bikes. So we should hopefully get through customs in the UK and then the Netherlands and vice versa coming back. That's taken care of. The accommodation in Verona is also taken care of. I've booked Panda and George's flights because I think if George were to book his own flight, he'd end up somewhere completely different to Italy. So that is also taken care of. So I think we've got everything buttoned up. So fingers crossed it'll be smooth sailing, literally, until we get the bikes into Europe.
All right, so it's Tuesday night, it's 6:30. We have to load the bikes in 30 minutes and we are doing the last little bits. Actually, the rear wheel is going into Flacco for one last little adjustment. We're gonna get a few exhaust springs welded up. So the last 30 minutes are gonna be used sensibly, but the bikes are done. Royal Blood behind me is ready to be loaded into the van. Flacco will be in half an hour, and then we're off to Italy. It's been an interesting day, but we made it.
So it's been a very busy day. A lot of work's been done, a lot of problems, but here we are. One hell of a bike. The other bike's amazing as well. I'm really happy with them. So yeah, I'm happy to see them go to the show, which if the lads are leaving off in a couple of hours. Next time I see you, I'll be at the show.